What is happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. With our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Oh, JJ Wang, this has been a painful week. It was a great season. It's one of those things where somebody's got to lose, right?
Somebody's got to lose. I mean, the sports, right? Somebody's got to lose.
Yeah, we don't want it to be us.
Yeah, you never want it to be you, but I mean, somebody's got to lose. Like if this was the old me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to get me on this podcast or talk to me because I would have been frustrated, upset, wouldn't want to talk to you, wouldn't want to talk to anybody, be mad. But losses in fantasy don't really bother me anymore. I've gotten over that. I accept losses and just pray for wins. Like,
Hey, I always look. I'm that weird person that I want to win, but I'm a little not super content. But I'm content with second because I still get some of my money back in the league that I was in. Wherever I get the second place, it's a sad delusion that I live in. I want to win, but
second's cool. I mean, as long as you get some kind of money back, but I'd rather be. Oh well, it's always next year.
I mean, it was a big dumpster of a day. My Dolphins just got pummeled and eliminated from playoffs. So you won't have to hear me talk about them anymore. And in the offseason, probably be talking about their new quarterback, the way Tua played yesterday. Thanks a lot, dude. He pooed on my team, but we'll hit that up a little bit later. We are going to Courier Nation. We are going to one show a week. We'll record. Hopefully, we're talking about over the weekend, so I'll try to have it up. Maybe Mondays will be our new release day, so you have all week on your commutes to listen to our intelligent wisdom. The next month or so will be a sort of revisiting the season, talking about guys that we loved, guys that were fantasy MVPs. We'll have some award shows. We'll talk about the future as well, and we'll hit a lot of dynasty from that point forward, hitting some of the rookies coming up. We use some of JJ Wang's dynasty expert of the college expertise that he is, the genius, the smartest man I know that knows about college football. I watched about 20 minutes this week and I was like, wow, I like some of these guys. I'm looking forward to. I was excited. The one guy I would love to get one day is Marvin Harrison's son.
Oh yeah, Marvin Harrison. Both of them.
Yeah, so aptly named. But hit us up anywhere: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube comments, website. They're all in the comments. I'm not going to go over them with you, but if there's something you want to hear us talk about in the off season, hit us up. We'll do it on there. We might even talk about having some guests come on chat with us in the off season to expand the process as we're moving forward. Because as JJ Wang always says, we got to trust the process, and there's a process to us. And we both are getting pretty much to where we're going to be in majority, like almost exclusively dynasty leagues. Are you down to one as well? One redraft league next year?
I'll be into my brother-in-law, Rich. He's got a family league that he invited me in, so I'll probably stay in them too. And they're probably the only ones, probably.
Yeah, I'll be in our auction league, and then I do a charity league, so that'll be my other redraft. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the auction league. No, I'm in 3. Well, wait a minute, I'm in 4. I started a family league, our own personal family league. So never mind, that's 4 redraft leagues. So yeah, 4.
One of mine dynasty.
I won't be joining anymore. Let's say 4 is my cutoff point, and hopefully I won't be joining. Hopefully I won't be joining any more leagues. Period.
Next year, I have like 27 teams. I thought I did a lot. Then I talked to you, brother. Man, good golly. So yeah, so hit us up. We're everywhere. We're anywhere. Share us with your friends. We're hoping our viewership lulls over the last couple weeks have been due to the holidays. Now it's a new year. You're back in your cars. Well, unless you are where I am, like JJ Wang and I live about an hour and change apart. He got 3 inches of snow. I'm sitting outside looking at about a foot of snow. So that's why we're recording early. Show came up early. My kids got out. There was a cool picture of my beard covered in snow today. It was pretty money. But enough about life. Let's talk about real life fantasy football as we go. It was an interesting weekend to say the least going in. I say the major injury news we'll talk about probably in the offseason a little bit because it does affect free agency. Michael Gallup tore his ACL. It was a clean tear. So saying that if there's a positive to an ACL tear, it was a clean tear. What do you think the future holds for Michael Gallup?
Well, with the way medical advancements have become these days, he'll probably be back next week for the game. I mean, the way they recover, Yeah, so he'll probably be back for the playoffs, probably, I'm guessing. So no, so what's 8 months away? Yeah, unfortunately for me, he was going to get paid, and this definitely hurts. It hurts just as well as it hurts Chris Godwin. He tore the ACL
Oh yeah.
right before you get paid, and hopefully these guys still get their bag, but it's not going to be as much money in that bag as it would have been a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I think Godwin's bag will still be big. I was high on Gallup and a little disappointed in the CD Lamb drafting, although let's be honest, that was a great pick. CD Lamb's a pretty stinking good player. Well, we'll talk about that again later on. But in the grand scheme, he's a pretty good player, good build. But I thought Gallup was a great fit for the system, and he could have got paid by the Cowboys, but they saw the shiny new toy, I guess. But he's still going to get paid because I think the NFL, you were talking about the whole NFL people getting fixed quicker. They know he's going to be ready for the season. They've seen what he's got. He's not going to get the Chris Godwin bag, but he'll get his bag, and maybe we'll figure out later on where we think he might land.
Yeah, he definitely won't get the Chris Godwin. He doesn't have the numbers that Chris Godwin has. But yeah, he'll get paid. He'll be a good player. I don't know if he can be a wide receiver one, but he'll have his moments. I mean, I like Gallup. Always been a fan. That's pretty much the only injury. So we're going to jump into the pleasure and pain.
Last week of pleasure and pain.
A lot of pain, but we'll get through these pleasures real quick. So the first pleasure that I want to bring up Mac Jones real quick. So he had 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. They threw it way more than what I thought. So how much of this was, hey, Mac Jones, I'm going to make you look so much better than Trevor Lawrence that we're just going to embarrass them, and we're going to make you look really good. Do you think that was Belichick's?
I never thought of it, but it makes a lot of sense because that's what they do. Yeah. And it's incredible that he goes ballistic. The whole team goes ballistic. Jacksonville didn't show up. I mean, Dare got me the touchdown I needed for my team, but I mean, the running backs murdered it. Jones murdered it. Who didn't? It was like everybody scored a gajillion points, and he was throwing to guys off the street anyway. And he's going to be part of a show I'd like to do later on in the offseason called Guys I Need to Apologize To.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. But yeah, I mean, he looked good. I mean, probably solid QB2 going into the next season. Much better than we thought. Much better than a lot of people thought. So kudos to that guy. So next we got Joe Burrow. Of course, he had the 446 and 4 touchdowns. Another big day. That's like 1,000 yards in the last 2 weeks. And then we also have Trey Lance. Like, he's getting the start. So he was 16 for 23, 249. So good completion percentage, a lot of yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he can also run, of course. He only had the 31 yards. They were kind of shutting that run down a little bit. He didn't get too much. So my question to you would be, so Burrow starts going in as a starter next season. Lance is a starter next season. Who's a better fantasy quarterback?
Joe Burrow. I'm traditional. I think Burrow's got that. I've never been a Burrow guy. I mean, if you've known me for years, never been a Burrow guy. I was jealous because I guess we didn't get him. But the last 2 weeks, if this is what the future for the Bengals holds, oh my goodness, AFC North is done. Lamar Jackson will be something of the past, even though he runs. But for now, it's got to be Burrow because unless Lance shows more wiggle, like they were just hitting him on the line, like he got those yards, but you would see like he get ready to run and boom, they're right there. And it was I've got to say Burrow because fantasy is about right now and what you see. It could change next year. I could be apologizing to Trey Lance. Like I don't think he's going to be garbage. I mean, Trey Lance is probably going to be drafted before Mac Jones next year, and right now I don't think he should. I don't know. With the running, he probably should, but I'd take Burrow's going to be a top 5 quarterback next year, right?
Oh man, I mean, I guess he'll be in the conversation. I guess.
Like he's throwing 4 touchdowns a week.
I mean, that's not going. I mean, that's 450 yards of 4 touchdowns. Probably not going to
300 yards, 2 touchdowns a week.
But I mean, like you said, he'll probably end up between the 4,000, 5,000 yard range, like the top quarterbacks do, and it just depends on how many touchdowns he can get because he's not going to give you those rushing yards. So yeah, I mean, he's got a shot at the top 5. Don't get me wrong. I like Burrow. He's got a shot at the top 5. I mean, I asked that question earlier in the year if he could be a top 5. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, he's going to throw for a lot of yards. He's got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Switching over to the running backs. So we got Devin Singletary here. He had 23 carries for 110 yards. That's like what, 3 or 4 good games in a row, right? Where he's been pretty much the workhorse running back. So how confident on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you with Singletary going into next year as an RB2?
1.2.
1.2.
Yeah, I've been burnt. I don't know. Singletary is an RB2. That could literally have him being the 24th running back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. At least the 24th running back.
I could put him at number 24. Yes. And so, yes, I guess I'd have to be a 10. But yeah, problem is he burnt me that first year he came in. I was like, dude, this guy's going to be he's not going to be your standard. He's going to be your new wave scat back, lead running back. And then he just pooed the bed. I mean, I'd say Zach Moss is dead.
Yeah, I see Buffalo probably drafting a running back.
A big
running back this year. They're going to need somebody. They got to fix that. You can't have Josh Allen running around like he does so much. But I mean, like Singletary's played good last couple of games, so he'll get the opportunity. And so the next 2 guys, we have Rashawn Penny, 25 carries for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's just been absolutely killing it. And then we got Elijah Mitchell with 21 carries, 119 yards. And then he also had the receiving touchdown. He's been absolutely killing it as well when he's the starting running back. So going into next season, who would you prefer, Rashawn Penny or Elijah Mitchell? Who are you drafting first?
It's a loaded question. I think Rashawn Penny has arrived because he looks so strong running, but they both have the same problem. So I'm gonna have to say by the thinnest margin, I would say Penny because and this is only assuming Russell Wilson resigns in Seattle, which is or stays in Seattle rather, which is not a guarantee. If Russell Wilson's gone, it's Mitchell by a mile. But I think with Lance essentially being a rookie next year, they both have the same problem. I'm gonna go Penny by a hair right now.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I like Mitchell and the 49ers offense, so I'd probably go Mitchell. But like I've been a Penny fan too, so it's going to be interesting. Both of them are going to get a lot of run next year.
Yeah.
So switching over to the wide receivers, of course, there's only one, and Jamar Chase, 11 catches for 266 and 3. That's crazy. Of course, that's like his second 200-yard game this year. He had another huge game earlier, but he's killing it. Joe Burrow killing it. The great offense is going to be killing it. You got anything to say about Chase real quick?
Stud. Glad I got him in one of my leagues.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to pick him up. So the next 2 guys, so we got St. Brown, who's been on a tear. He had 8 for 111 and a touchdown. And then DK Metcalf finally decides to do more when I don't need him. I've been supporting him all year. And when it's finally time to not support and I need him to play bad, that's when he plays good. But, oh, well, thank you, DK Metcalf. So he just had the 63 yards, but he had the 3 touchdowns. So St. Brown is currently the wide receiver 24, right? And he's only played in 7 games that he's been effective with. And Metcalf is currently the wide receiver 13. Is there a world where St. Brown could have a higher finish rating than DK Metcalf?
PPR world. PPR, and that's where St. Brown's strengths can be PPR. You know me, I've loved St. Brown from the get-go. Everybody knew in every league that I was going to draft St. Brown. I was able to get him in our big money league. I started with 26 auction dollars and pulled out St. Brown, and he's my boy this year. He's I could say honestly, probably next year those guys are going to be within spitting range of each other in people's rankings. DK will go up or down depending upon Russell Wilson. I mean, he is the number 1. He's the alpha in there. Lockett seems like he's become an afterthought. He still got a touchdown, but St. Brown's going to be a PPR guy. I mean, he has Tim Boyle throwing to him, and he's putting up numbers. I did see an article. He set a rookie record for receptions of a rookie drafted outside of the 3rd round in the rookie year, and he has 70. He's killed it. He was so slow to start. I was crying. I was like, man, I was wrong.
And they've been giving a lot of targets, man. You give a lot of players those targets. I mean, they'll make it happen. He's just got the opportunity. I mean, that's all you can ask for right now. Now when other players start arriving and they actually have maybe some more talent that might take away from it.
Healthy Swift.
But yeah,
That's a big key.
but we'll see. I mean, but right now, enjoy what we got. So the tight ends, I'm only going to mention one because it's literally the same tight ends every week, and we could talk about the same guys every week. This is a guy I don't think we've had to talk about all year.
We liked him.
I did, not anymore.
No, he's a putz.
But and that's Noah Fant. He had 6 for 92 and 1 touchdown. I mean, whatever. I mean, he's still a top 10 tight end somehow. He's playing like crap. But like he suffers from the same problem as all those other weapons in that offense, lack of quarterback play. So you got anything on Fant? If not, we'll switch over here to Penny.
About time.
About that.
You're in the top 10 with that garbage year he's had. Good golly.
Oh man, it's awful.
I don't want to talk about this next part. This is going to hurt.
Yeah,
all these guys are on my teams.
We're going to have to talk about them. So we'll start with the quarterbacks, and we'll get the first one out of the way. This is Tua. He played terrible. He had 1 point, and the league that I typically use is he had 0.3 points. So congratulations. So he had 205 yards, 1 interception. Then he also had 1 fumble as well. So there was a lot of quarterbacks turning the ball over like crazy yesterday. I guess I didn't watch the game. I'm sure you did. Did it look as bad as it says?
After the first, he looked spot on first possession, and then it was garbage. The rest of the game, it was garbage. He refused to put on gloves. That's where the fumble came from. Like, it was raining, so they're like, if you had on gloves, it would have stuck, like those magic gloves they have. He said, hey, could you all go looking for Deshaun Watson in the offseason? Just keep the hype going. That's what he said during the entire game. It was terrible, terrible, terrible.
But
terrible. Let's move on.
Quarterbacks have bad games. Just you gotta live and die with them. I don't see him bringing another quarterback in there. I think they stick with him.
I think they should, but the owner, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's a lot of people's problems. The owners,
pretty much.
But the next guy is Tyler Huntley, 197. Yeah, 6 carries for 54 yards, so no touchdowns in any way. So I guess the honeymoon's over here. I guess teams have kind of figured him out after 1 or 2 games.
It was the Rams, though.
Was it? I didn't get. I don't think
that would be my only like Huntley. He's a pain this week because if you had to play him, you were in dire straits. I lost Lamar, and I had to play Tua and Wentz, and I got killed. But if I'd have played Huntley, I'd have been just as bad off as if I'd have played Tua or Wentz, and it was a burn. And it's one of those like 2 great games. I think he's still going to get a decent chance to start somewhere next year. Like, could he be a Detroit Lion? Maybe. He's a running quarterback. That's the new wave. Or will he just re-sign here and realize Lamar's going to get hurt? But I'm hoping it was the Rams and the kid has a good future.
I mean, I picked him up in the league, so I'm rooting for him. It's usually that's the only time I really root for anybody is when I pick him up. So
for sure,
I'm rooting for you, buddy. The next guy I want to talk about, this one hurts, is Trevor Lawrence. Of course, I mean, he plays for Jacksonville. The team's bad. Blah 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 blah. But as I watched a little more of this game than I probably should have. Yeah. But some of his, he just wasn't impressive. Like, his throws aren't there. Like, even if like you got a bad team, you can at least throw the ball, and throw the ball well. Like, just some of his throws, they just don't look good. Like, his decision making is very suspect. Like, it's all over the place. Like I said, I'm rooting for the guy, but man, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't look right.
In my heart of hearts, I've said that multiple times. I am praying Byron Leftwich is their next coach. I think he could really help Lawrence. Like, he just needs a season to just hopefully be in a system, know what's going on. And I did Urban Meyer. Who thought that was going to work? Let's be honest.
I did.
I had no.
I really wanted. I wanted it to work, but I want everything to work, and I'm just usually wrong. But I'm waiting for that one time that I could be like, I told you so. I was right. I know that time was going to come. So going over to the running backs, I'm not going to spend too much time on here.
They were bad.
This guy we bring up literally every week, I think, is Zeke. Bad game. He had 16 yards. The guy's terrible. $95 million worth of, like, this is the worst money spent ever. Then we got Dalvin Cook. I'm not really sure what happened there. I know they had the backup
Madison.
quarterback,
Oh,
so it was probably
Manning
stacking the box up. I really didn't want to watch too much of this game because I was going up against Adams and Rogers. And
and
after
Aaron
that
Jones.
first
You forgot Aaron
Rogers and
Jones.
Devontae Adams catch, I was like, Jesus Criminy. I mean, Rogers is just dropping balls just like in
Well,
perfect spots. I'm like, I can't watch this crap anymore. And then Javonte Williams, like his first bad game in a
mhm.
really long time. Not really too worried about that.
Future strong. Cook worries me the most. Like everybody saw this coming with Zeke. I made a poor decision in trading Zeke, getting Zeke and some cash for Akers in the Dynasty League. But Cook's the one that worries me a smidge. Like I thought he'd bounce and be okay. And he was finally last year was really coming out as I had him as the RB1 and he's just injuries derailed, but something doesn't smell right. So we'll see next year. Hopefully he has the season, he gets all those fixed up. And they're probably getting a new coach and Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
won't have COVID by that point. Who knows?
We'll see. There's running backs. Those running back declines come rapidly. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I think he's got one more solid year left in him at least. So we'll see how it goes.
If
So
you want
wide
him, he's for sale.
receivers, these guys hurt a little bit too. First off, DJ Moore, of course, he has bad game after bad game after bad game. But of course, he has Sam Darnold throwing to him, Cam Newton throwing to him. Poor guy. So so going into next season, it's maybe top 20 still is top
On
20.
talent, he's like what, 15, 16, 17. Receivers are so good that he could slide to 30 with the blink of the eye, depending upon who's the quarterback. I thought Darnold would be better for him because he did have those decent games with Darnold, but I finally believe in
But
DJ Moore and he poops on me. I've never been a DJ
Dar-
Moore guy.
Darnold be Darnold, I guess. And then these
Yeah.
next two guys, top 5 dynasty guys. So you got CeeDee Lamb, 51 yards receiving. This season has been a bit of a disappointment.
Go away.
It's been a
Weird.
waste. I don't think he's had more than 11 fantasy points in like the last 7 games or something stupid. It's not very good. And then AJ Brown, he comes back, will have a big game, then disappear for another 3 or 4 games. So who are you drafting first next year? CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown has no competition. CD will have competition from Amari Cooper. You could even say the other running back. I just lost my brain farted. Pollard and Schultz are getting touched, but AJ Brown, they're throwing to AJ Brown and maybe Des Fitzpatrick will step up next year. But AJ Brown was also guarded by a top 10 cornerbacks yesterday too, and a top 5 safety. So we did something right, and that was slow down AJ Brown. Otherwise, everything else went wrong. But I attribute it to the secondary is really good in Miami. The offense is terrible. The line is terrible, but the secondary is really good.
Yes, I'll stick with CeeDee Lamb there. I'll still stick with. I got a lot invested in that guy.
Yeah, we are splitting hairs again.
Yeah, so the tight end, I'm just going to mention one. This is a guy we mentioned frequently on here for some reason, and that's George Kittle. I think he had 1 catch. I don't understand how Kittle has like 1 catch, 2 catch, and then he'll get like 12, and then he'll get like 2. It's still George Kittle. We got to start him. It'd be great.
Yeah, he's the only guy that celebrates blocking like no tomorrow. So he's your pure tight end, and it's painful to have. So if you got him and you can sell him high, I'd consider selling him high on dynasty teams in the offseason. See what you can get. Somebody's going to want him on name alone. Hopefully nobody in Trust the Process is listening to this, so we will go from there. But let's jump into my favorite segment for probably the last time. Maybe we'll throw out one next week. But surefire waste of a touchdown. Only got a couple this week. It was pretty much standard. But let's go to Kansas City. 29-yard touchdown reception. It's going to be Kelsey. No. Tyreek. No. Ooh, why not Darrell Williams? He just keeps scoring 3 touchdowns. We missed him earlier. I forgot about him. Nope. It is Demarcus Robinson. Welcome to Earth for your 1 standard touchdown of the year. That is a
surefire waste of a touchdown. This guy just randomly pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I pick him up every other year. So, but the next 2 are 2-first. So in New England, we had a 2 touchdown reception game, 6 yards, 20 yards. That sounds totally like tight end Hunter Henry would be scoring. No. Who in the world is Christian Wilkerson? I've never heard of this dude. Like never. We look up a lot of stuff. I've never heard of this dude. But we do know he has 2 surefire.
Waste of a touchdown. Mac Jones is going to make this guy a star, man. Tom
Yeah.
Brady did it for years.
Pick him up, pick him up. Would you pick him up in a dynasty league if you have?
Sure. If we got space, I'd pick anybody up. If I got space, if I got room.
Oh, heck, let's go to Arizona. We have another double touchdown, 1 yard, 19-yard reception. Well, it sounds like Christian Kirk should be stepping up. No. Oh, maybe it's Edmonds out of the backfield. No. Oh, we know it's Zach Ertz. No. Antoine Wesley. Who in the world is that?
I don't know that guy either.
Okay. But that's definitely 2.
Surefire waste of a touchdown. I'll pick that guy up too. Did he score last? I think he scored. Did he score a touchdown last week?
He might have had one of his surefire wastes last week. The name's familiar. So the last 2 guys are guys we know, but you wouldn't expect them. Dallas, 2-yard touchdown catch. CeeDee Lamb? No, of course not. Cooper? Nope. Schultz? Oh, wait, it's Cedric Wilson. Congratulations. You have a
surefire waste of a touchdown. And before you drop this next guy, it is under protest. I don't agree with it. So,
this one's just a personal one. I wasn't going to leave it. This is a personal one because I had Davante Adams and needed a touchdown. So, Allen Lazard, you get an honorary 20-yard. I'll say it.
Okay.
Surefire waste of a touchdown because Davante Adams needed that touchdown. But Allen Lazard, I thought he'd be better, but injuries have just pooped up his season. But we got about a minute and a half here as we're heading into week 18. I have one league where we do week 18 as a bonus week. You get like the top running scheme gets a prize. So if you're doing week 18 championships, you need to fix that. That's just a commissioner thing. It ends up being it's better this year. The only teams that were really just scour for guys who are setting week 18 and start their backups or start teams against guys that aren't going to start their starting guys. That's what you got to look for this week if you're doing DFS things. You probably want to avoid Packers because they are locked in place. And there's other teams that are sort of sitting there, but they don't want any more injuries. As you could see with Joe Burrow getting hurt with like 5 seconds left in the game because they decided they had to go for the touchdown or the 2, but whatever they were doing there, like crazy nuts. Just keep an eye on those kind of games where they're locked and moving up and down won't change a whole lot because they've got a home game. But games where you want to see people that matter for DFS are playing. Vegas and the Chargers, that's the Sunday night game, but winner in. So they're gonna ball out. Both those teams play anybody you got. Dallas, Philadelphia. It's a big game for positioning. Dallas could jump way up, fall way down. Philly, they're in the playoffs. I think it's they're teetering on in the playoffs there. Kansas City and Denver. KC is trying to lock up that one, so they need to win that game. So start your Chiefs, not your Broncos for sure. 49ers are playing the Rams. 49ers have to win and in. So they're gonna ball out, but they are playing the Rams. And the Saints also have a meaningful game against the Falcons because if I think it's 49ers win, Saints lose, Saints are in, Eagles. There's 3 teams that are sort of whittling around, but keep an eye this week.
If the 49ers lose, they can still get in, right?
Yeah, there's okay. I want them to lose because the Dolphins have their pick. So but there's 3 teams there at the bottom of the NFC, and the AFC, it really is Chargers, Vegas to get on in. So in case you were wondering, as you heard the whole show, we didn't talk about AB because it's just not worth it. So JJ Wang, give us some wisdom as we head into an off season, as we head into the NFL playoffs, and take us out of here.
So I don't have much wisdom. I will say this, AB, that there's a lot of things in sports that you can't say you've never seen, right? I mean, everything has happened. I mean, it's like for me, so like this is honestly the first time I can say I've seen somebody walk off the field mid-game and just say I quit. I mean, it was like, so it was amazing. It was
AB being AB.
Yeah, it was. I don't want to say it was funny, but I got a chuckle out of it.
2 seconds. Will he ever play again?
I don't see how he could play again. But I mean, he's really good, and it's the NFL. People have done way worse and have been allowed back in the NFL. But that's neither here nor there. He'll be back. I bet he'd be. Somebody give him an opportunity. Josh Gordon hasn't been good in 12 years. He's still be getting opportunities. But
so he's playing for Dallas, you say? Okay.
Yeah, bring him on. But yeah, so congratulations to everybody who wins or who's going to win. See everybody back again next year when the season starts. Of course, we're not going anywhere, but as far as like fantasy game goes, a good year. And as always, trust yourself and trust the process.